So 4:01 p.m. I got all the video editing from the last 2 days done for foliar feeds and all that stuff. Project crashed on me probably 10 times in the process, but I got it done and out, and that should be a pretty nice video for people learning about foliar feeds and establishing soils and inoculants and all that. Just getting a clip here as I'm getting the machine fired up for the day. I got a bunch of excavation type work to do with the Massey. I got the head gasket to do. That came today, but I haven't grabbed it from where it came in, and I've dealt with so much frustrating stuff this week. I think I'm just gonna get some machine time in, get something done here, and I'll deal with that probably Saturday, because we have forecasted thunderstorms Friday, and I have lots of other pieces I have to fill in between here and Friday for work and life and all that. So tomatoes are still up here. Does not seem to be any deer damage in our first night, so that's nice. And I think that good soaking, drenching foliar feed helped a lot for them to not get too wilted today. They're looking nice and perky, the peppers too. So that's a nice start for a planting. I'd hate to come back after last night and find everything's messed up or just didn't make it. Didn't expect that, but you know, you never know what you're gonna find. So, trying to get down to the lowest elevation I can to see if maybe we can find some water table down here that may be able to pump from. So it would be nice to have some sort of water source in the farm before we can develop all the permaculture stuff to capture water, the swells, to sequester it. So far, we're just not hitting water yet, but we're in the topographic elevation range. We should be able to come close. I'm going to try a spot here. If that doesn't work, I might try another spot if I can find a spot to go a little lower. It's worth a shot, you know. Just need to know where the water table's at, for one. And for two, it doesn't hurt to have a nice, good deep test in here and have a real good look at what our soil is as we go deeper down. Because what you're going to find out as you go on in this series, and especially as I continue the Regenerative Ag School series, is that geological soil profiles actually determine what all of the trace mineral nutrition and biology has access to begin with. We'll talk about how glacial systems can push geological profiles, and how in our area here in upstate New York and most of northern New England, we have a tremendous benefit from a glacial push that came down from the north under the ice sheets. But for now, we're just going to take a deeper look at soil here. And what I'll do is run the camera down the wall so you can see all the different layers starting at the top. I'm not all the way done digging, but this is a pretty good place to stop and let you have a look. You can see here, we have a nice probably 6-inch layer of pretty good topsoil. There's aggregate, there's dark humic matter in there, there's roots and rhizosphere and agrosphere. And then you can see as we go deeper down, this is what I talk about, the larger aggregates. This is the porosphere down deeper here. And you can see how much more porous that aggregate structure is. And then in between there's a pretty heavy clay layer, but we'll use that to a benefit. All right, I went down a little deeper. I'm down to probably 4 foot deep in here, maybe might be 4.5, almost up to my chest. And I've been digging through shale for the last little bit. I was wondering why this is so hard. It looked like soil coming out, but it's actually the shale layer that we've hit. So that explains why we're not getting any water flowing through. because there must be a shale layer rock in here that comes up and acts as a dam. And so on the downside, we're not going to get water from what appears to be a nearby water table. But on the upside, that really does support all the permaculture stuff we want to do with swales and building ponds up above, where we capture water coming down the terrain and keep it in the terrain rather than letting it run off and be wasted. So we'll talk a lot more about that design work. It's fairly simple in concept, but there are some complex and critical key points that you need to know. And literally the term key point will be very, very integral in that discussion. So I'm pulling this tree out over here to clear the area that we talked about staking back in, I think it was Reboot 19, whatever. And the tree, I broke the tree off. It was a little stubborn. It's rooted really well, as you can see. And I just want to point out again, right around the roots of the tree, that's where the soil aggregate is much better, where that clay is aggregated in this like really nice structure. Right, so I just tore the stump out of this spot right here, and I just back dragged it with the bucket. And you can see as I drug it along, all this nice crumb soil structure under here, and embedded all around the root structure of all the perennial grasses and all the natural growing plants, plus the roots of the cedar tree. I just want to point out how much rhizosphere there is here, or root zone. It's virtually all roots, and then you'll notice directly around where it's virtually all roots is where you see all that aggregate and crumb structure and soil health. So again, plants and soils that are truly healthy are synonymous. You cannot have one without the other ever. They pump each other in a positive way. That's how you pump the system, positive. Work them together, and they can benefit each other. So even plants that we don't want have built us some really nice soil base structure here to work. You get the idea. Put the boom weight on it, then use the swing to come around, kind of knock it over and stretch the root. Now it's exposed. Now you come in with the bucket behind it and scoop the root out. It's really hard to do that. I don't have a mount yet. Just kind of move it back out of the hole now. And then, get it out of the way, wrap the boom a little bit, now it's out of your way, you can pick your boom up a little bit. Harder to do this with one hand. Open the skipper out a little bit. You can bring your swing a little more, the boom a little more. And then that's another one out. Lift it with the bucket, fill it, scrape it with the dipper again, lift it with the bucket again, scrape it with the dipper again, and you gotta bring your boom up a little bit. You're basically out. Then you move that around with the swing, same thing, just kind of do that. Then you use the back cut to drag yourself back to the next one. I'll give you one last quick glance from this end before my phone battery lets go. I really do love this machine. Something else. Does a great job on this kind of stuff. 7,500 square foot, wide open, ready to fence. And as soon as I get the head gasket on the Ford, we'll get her disked up and cut up into beds, and before you know it, this will be a functioning farm. I guess that's it for now. I'm hungry and tired. I need some coffee and some food. And just remember, keep your friends close and your farmers closer. Apologize for the camera noise. It is mounted on the car. God, I gotta pay attention to driving. It's different than from running tractors. Cheers! Tonight's sunset brought to you by the Pharmacy Seeds Network here in the beautiful Hudson Valley, New York. You are looking at the Catskill Mountains to the west of us. And that is our beloved Overlook Mountain, who carries all our wonderful radio signals for us. I apologize for the car noise, can't do anything about it.